This is the story of an ordinary woman who sees life extraordinary. Everybody, and welcome to today's video. There is a flurry of activity going on today, and I will share that in a future video because I'm going to wait till we have it all done to compile it all for all of you. But we are getting a wood stove put in. But today's video is all about using some of our retirement money to prepare. So what are we preparing for? Well, we're preparing for a lifelong journey of living a little bit less off of the structure of the world. In other words, we are slowly working on some things to be a little more off-grid, to be a little more self-reliant. In order to do that, it costs money, you know? Going off the grid and learning to do things off the grid, unfortunately, has a lot of expense to it in the beginning of it. But I think you are really going to enjoy some of the things that we're doing. Some of the things that we're doing are very small. Some of the things we're doing are very costly, but we're using some of our retirement money to do this. Now, this is money that we had saved for years, you know, and after this last project is done, we are done, like totally done with these kind of projects. The wood stove is very costly. To buy the wood stove, it was an amazing deal. We got a brand new one at Tractor Supply, but it was half off because it was last year's model. But then we had to get the kits to make sure everything is in code and all of that, which was another $500. So we're talking a lot of money for the wood stove. But we have free wood, a lifetime of free wood. Imagine that. So we are so excited because we have a resource where we can have as much wood as we possibly want for free, at least now for a couple years anyhow. But today I'm going to show you right now what we're working on, and it's just little things. Learning to cook off-grid, trying to do things more off-grid to actually save us money. So people ask me all the time about my solar and my solar units because I don't talk much about it. Yes, we still use our solar units. Now, I don't really talk a whole lot about it, but our solar units do help us save tons of money, like tons of money. And I'm so glad that we have the solar units. Now, I know not everybody can afford that, so I really don't talk much about it on my channel, but yet I want to do a video once in a while where I'm just showing you our life and, you know, what we are doing. So I'll show you the solar units, and then we're going to get into little clips of my life this week and what I have been doing as far as just living more self-sufficient. So I keep solar units everywhere. So we have 2 solar units up here, and this produces some electricity for us in solar banks inside here. Yes, my solar units are out all year round in the winter and the spring, the summer, and they do amazing. I don't have any problems with my solar units being out in the winter time. People ask that all the time. They seem to think that there's a problem with that. No, we have solar all the time. We keep it out. If it snows, we just brush it aside, and it works amazing. But there's other things that we are doing, and I'm just having so much fun in learning all of these techniques. So using our retirement money, let me talk about that for just a minute. Some of our retirement money. Well, you know, we really thought about it. Things are getting so expensive. If we would wait till we're retirement age to do all this, we're probably going to end up costing us 3 to 4 times the amount that it costs us now. And when we got the wood stove at this tremendous deal, it was only $695, but it was a $1,200 wood stove. We thought, you know, now is the time because life is getting so expensive. So we decided to use that money out of our retirement and to just use it to build our lives better, make our lives easier. Since we have indoor plumbing, our life is so much easier. And, you know, yes, it was expensive, but we got to the point We can hold on to the money as much as we want and have our life really hard. And by the time we're retired, we're going to have to pay 3-4 times the amount to get things done than we would now. We're young enough yet that I can still produce an income to help go towards our retirement. So I think it's a win-win. Yes, we had a bad experience with, an investment, but this is a good investment because this is a kind of investment that will have long-term benefits to us. Okay, so there's a lot of different kinds of investments you can make. You can put it into an institution like we did, and then had it go wrong or bad or whatever you want to call it. Or you can have it and you can put your investments into your own life, into your own personal life, which will make your life a lot easier and better, and it would keep you from being on the main world system. Yeah. Now, I am not anti you-know-what or anti this or anti-establishment, but if we can do things to give our lives a little bit of an easier life, plus give our lives a more self-sufficient lifestyle, even a little more than what it is, all for the better. We were heating our home with electricity. We had electric little units, and it was costing us $400 a month for these electric units, fully on the electrical grid. The furnace, the oil furnace in this didn't work years ago. Now we actually have a system in place that's safe, reliable, and it's using renewable energy. It's because the wood that we have was already cut down. They were cutting it down no matter what. We have an ample supply of it, so it was just going to lay on the ground and rot, and we are going to use it. So I am really excited about all of this. But today, it starts out with the little things, and it's whatever gives you passion and happiness. But for us, it's like, I felt like we should use some of our retirement now. My husband literally worked his life away for years to put it into an institution, and what happens to it? Yes, you do need to keep money into the bank. You need to have a little bit of cushion there. But really, I think we need to be more self-sufficient and reliant on ourselves a little more, and it will give us something to do. One of the things people talk about a lot is retirement. They say a lot is, a lot of people, when they retire, they lose their sense of direction because they don't really know what to do in life. And if we do these things, like having to cut the wood, having to stack the wood, having to heat with wood, it keeps us both active and it keeps us with a purpose. And that is a purpose to rely on our wits and rely a little bit on ourselves. And that's going to help us physically because we're able to do so. Yes, that is the million-dollar question. What happens if you get to a point in life that you can't do these things? That could happen to all of us. That could happen to me today. That could happen to me in 10, 20, 30 years. Who knows? But I don't think about that right now, because if you think too much on that, it will hinder you from moving forward and pushing forward. We will cross that bridge if it ever gets to that. But for now, our life is all about prepping. And I used to think, I'm so excited about all this. I used to think prepping was just about food. Yes, food's important to prep, but we need to prep our minds. We need to prep our emotions. And for me, I was so emotional about things, and we need to prep in so many different areas spiritually. So we need to prep in all these different areas, not just food for our bodies, but we need to think outside the box. Like, okay, if the electric was off today, what would it impact us? How would it affect us? And what can we do that it won't affect us quite so much? There was times we had winter storms and didn't have electricity, had no heat in our house. All of our plumbing now is raised above. It's not down below anymore. So all of our plumbing is nice and neat, and it's all has shut-off valves. Every valve has a shut-off valve. Really nice, and it's in an area where the pipes won't freeze as quick. It's perfect. And now with different things that we are doing, it's just going to be such a back to basics lifestyle. And that is exactly the kind of life that we want to live. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Keep watching, because stuff is coming around the corner. Being prepared looks like this to me. So today we ate totally off-grid. And now we're going to get our potatoes from the sun oven. I've had this 7 years now. So we're just gonna have some stuffed baked potatoes and some tomatoes from the garden, and we'll have some of my leftover bacon from this morning. All right, so you can see the flames, how they shoot up into the chamber up here, which is basically you're cooking on a direct flame.